the perspective on how the Indian manufacturers can participate in building the health supply chain system in Tanzania through production, medicine and medical items to strengthen provision of healthcare systems in Tanzania. To bring you up to speed, Medical Stores Department is strategic government store responsible for procurement, storage, and distribution of medicine and medical items across the country through approved health facilities. So with that mandate, we are responsible for procuring of all health commodities that are being used within the countries by the health facilities. That being said, we procure almost over 90% of medical items from overseas. And that means India is one of the largest exporters of medical items, medical supplies that we use in Tanzania. So India has a very potential contribution in strengthening the supply chain of the MSD, especially in our country, because we import over 90% of all of our annual medicine and medical supply requirements from overseas. And that being said, means MSD basically 6 months in the procurement process for the medical items, medical supplies. So this brings the opportunities for the Indian manufacturers. And the opportunity that this brings to the Indian manufacturers, firstly, is establishment of local pharmaceutical manufacturing plants in the country. Because when you look at the lead time of up to 6 months for the delivery of the medical supplies, if the Indian manufacturers can take use of this opportunity, means they can establish their pharmaceutical manufacturing plant within Tanzania to assist in reducing the number of days that we spent in procuring and delivering pharmaceutical items from overseas. But again, another opportunity that comes to the Indian manufacturer through this forum is supply of raw materials to the locally established pharmaceutical manufacturing plants. As you can see, we are trying so much to move to the situation where we can be able to manufacture some of the items within the country to address the lead time that is actually too long to wait. So if the Indian manufacturers can as well take good look at this opportunity, they can utilize this forum to supply raw materials for the locally established the pharmaceutical manufacturing plants. But again, there is that finished goods, and that include medicines, medical supplies, and laboratory reagents. By participating directly through the tenders that are advertised by MSD. So this gives opportunity for the Indian manufacturers to supply the finished goods, which later on I will tell you how do you participate in the tenders that we advertise as MSD. But lastly, the other opportunity, not the importance, is engaging in East African Community and SADC market. As now we all understand, MSD has been appointed as the procuring agent for all SADC member states. SADC is the region within the Africa covering 16 countries, and Medical Stores Department as the procuring agent for the SADC region gives you the opportunity to supply finished goods to the SADC region. That means you have the market for the 16 countries where MSD is appointed as the procuring agent. So these are the opportunities which I believe in my position can benefit the Indian manufacturers, considering our position as the strategic government store responsible for procuring, storage, and distributing health commodities across the country. And if we say we have Indian manufacturers establishing their manufacturing plants locally here within the country, to reduce excessive dependence on importation. And again, the lead time that we spend in waiting for the deliveries of the commodities will be cut down to within days when we have these plants established within the country. But again, the quality assurance issues, as my fellow from TMDA will address, will be easily managed internally by domestic regulatory agencies. And again, that will help us dealing directly with the manufacturer's price for commodities that will be lowered compared to when we have to deal with the middlemen. But again, that will create employment opportunities to the Tanzanian population. So how do you participate in the MSD tenders, which is very key that you should be informed. Most of our tenders bidding, where we make it publicly open for whoever feels that can participate, has that opportunity to participate. But again, we have the international restricted bidding, where we shortlist, we send invitation, or we send request for quotation from already identified manufacturers. So with these two approach, the Indian manufacturers can participate in the tenders that MSD advertises for supply of either raw materials or finished goods for delivery to the health facilities. So how do you do it? Sometimes when we go to international competitive bidding, we use our database, which is called TANEPS, and later on we will share with the High Commission's office the details of how the Indian manufacturers can register themselves in the vendor database, which is in most cases used to advertise most of the tenders, and those interested are directed to bid through the vendor database, which is going to be shared with the embassy, and we are hopefully the embassy, the High Commission of India in Dar es Salaam will share with the manufacturers. But for those manufacturers whom we have been dealing with them and we know their products, we know the kind of items they produce, then we invite them directly through international restrictive bidding. And so that is, Indian manufacturers will participate in strengthening the health supply chain system in Tanzania. That will be all for now from Medical Stores Department. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Frankie, Nicole. That was very detailed, and this would definitely help Indian companies to participate in the tenders of CDC and MSD. Thank you very much. Now I invite Ms. Kisa Mamata, Manager, Tanzania Medical and Medical Devices Authority, TMDA, to give her presentation on policy updates on the drug registration. Ma'am, I invite you to kindly give the presentation.
Okay, good morning to you. Hello, I'm Kisa Momwitwa, Manager of Clinical Trials and Pharmacovigilance. I'm representing Director General of TMDA. It's my pleasure to be with you today to share with you the policy, update on the policy on the registration of the products. TMDA, Tanzania Medicines and Medical Devices Authority, is an executive agent under the Ministry of Health, Community Development, Gender, Elder and Children. Previously, it was known as TFDA, Tanzania Food and Drugs Authority, and it was established in July 2003 and changed its name in 2019 after the regulation of food products and cosmetics was shifted to the Tanzania Bureau of Standards. So the mission of the TMDA is to protect and promote public health by ensuring safety, quality, and effectiveness of medicines, medical devices, and diagnostics. The regulated products are including medicines, human medicines, veterinary medicines, and biologicals, including vaccine and herbal medicines, but we do also regulate medical devices and in vitro diagnostics, also antiseptics and disinfectant. The function of the TMDA is to regulate quality, safety, and efficacy of those regulated products by doing the product evaluation and registration, but also premise registration and licensing. We do inspection and surveillance. We inspect premises, we inspect manufacturing facility, domestic and the foreign one, but we control import and export. We control clinical trials. We conduct also post-marketing surveillance of all products which have been registered, and we do conduct safety monitoring of those medicines, that is pharmacovigilance. And we have WHO pre-qualified laboratory, and we analyze medicines and product sample from the domestic manufacturers, but also we do receive sample from outside Tanzania. We control product promotion and advertisement. We conduct public education to our stakeholders. Those are the main functions of the TMDA. We have main two laboratory. We have here in TMDA sub head office in Dar es Salaam, the WHO pre-qualified laboratory, but we do have another laboratory at the Lake Zone. In totally in TMDA, we have 8 zone offices, but we have centralized the registration process to be conducted here at the Dar es Salaam. So the medicine registration system in Tanzania, if you say registration or marketing authorization of product licensing, this is a government authorization for a product to be marketed or to be distributed in Tanzania. And usually is based on proof of compliance to appropriate standards of safety, efficacy, and quality. So the registration, scope of the registration is human and veterinary medicines, as I've said, including biologicals and vaccine, but also herbal and medicinal products used in alternative medicines practice imported into the country in Tanzania, and medical devices and in vitro diagnostics. So the registration of the medicines, historically, we started in 1995, where we established the first guideline, and the first product was registered in 1999. And we have legal framework. We have the Act, the regimens derived from the Tanzania Medicines and Medical Devices Act Cap 219. If you look at section 22, it prohibits marketing of unregistered products, and section 51 to 60 provides for procedure for registration of medicines. And specifically the section 51, there is a requirement for registration of medicines, including herbal drugs, provided under that section. And under the Act, the Tanzania Medicines and the Medical Devices Act, all medicines or drugs, medical devices and diagnostics to be manufactured for sale or to be imported or supplied must be registered. And there are some criteria which have been provided in that section. For example, during the registration, we do look on the availability of the medical product if it's in public interest, the safety of the product, the effectiveness and the acceptable quality, the site and the manufacturing operations should comply with current good manufacturing practice or quality audits in terms of medical devices, and any other requirements as may be prescribed by the authority. So those are the criteria, but also we do have the guidelines. Nowadays we have a compendium, harmonized compendium of guidelines for human medicinal products, which was developed in July 2020. This compendium provides requirement on the quality, safety, and efficacy information for the active pharmaceutical ingredients and the finished pharmaceutical products, and that should be submitted to TMDA to support the product dossier during the registration. But also there are alternative approaches to the principles and practice described. Guidelines may be acceptable provided that they are supported by adequate scientific justification. So the validity of the registration, the market authorization of the medicinal product is valid for 5 years, after which the registration is subjected for renewal. And when there is any change which is introduced after the registered of the product, that change should be approved by TMDA, that is a variation. There are also some specific data requirements during submission. For example, the renewal of registration of medicinal products, applicants should refer to the guideline for submission of documentation for renewal of registration of human and veterinary pharmaceutical products. These guidelines can be found or downloaded from our website, but also for approval of alterations, applicants should refer to the guidelines on variation on registered medicinal products. So there are examples of technical information which are required during the registration process. For example, the generics, which we do import a lot from India, more than 47 of all imported medicines are coming from India. So in the generic, we do require the certificate of pharmaceutical products, the WHO type, summary of product characteristics, SMPC, quality of active pharmaceutical ingredients, quality of finished dosage form, which should contain the manufacturing information, quality control, stability data, and labeling, but also therapeutic equivalent data. For the new drug, we also need the certificate of pharmaceutical product, the WHO type, the SMPC, quality data on the active pharmaceutical ingredients and the finished product as in generics, but also we need safety preclinical data, because this is new for the new drugs, and the clinical data, including clinical trial data for the new drugs. So those are the requirements, just example of some technical documents which are required. But the application for marketing authorization of medicinal products should be submitted in soft copy electronically through online platforms. So nowadays we have online platform whereby marketing authorization order can apply directly to TMDA. And for online submission of new applications, so renewal of registration and variation for marketing authorization, there is a portal at TMDA. In the TMDA website, there is a link if you visit our website. So for the registration process, I would like to share the registration process, because sometimes you may find maybe there is a delay, but if you understand the registration process, really we do not nowadays have the delay. We do receive online application, and we do administrative data recording. We conduct evaluation of those technical information, and we conduct site inspection. But due to this pandemic issue of the COVID, we have an alternative way of doing the desk review, so that to facilitate the process. But also we do review the report. The report is usually reviewed by technical committee. This committee have the different expertise, and they have to, their main role is to advise the Director General of TMDA to register or to approve or not to approve the applications. But also the Director General has to issue the registration certificate, and after issuance of registration certificate, we do gazette the products, and we publish on our TMDA website. So in the evaluation and registration process, we usually use 1 to 7 days for the submission and the screening of the technical document, the dossier, and we usually use between 7 to 120 days conducting dossier evaluation and conducting GMP inspection, and if necessary to conduct a quality control test. But 1 to 14 days, the peer review of the reports before the approval of the product. That is the process and the time which we are using. So for the regulations, we have different regulations. We have regulations for the registration of medicinal products, which gives the directives on how someone can register the product. But we do have the regulation for orphan medicines, and we have regulations for the drug and able drug promotion. But also we do have the Tanzania Medicine and Medical Devices Pharmacovigilance Regulation. This have a new requirements whereby marketing authorization holders should have the qualified personnel for pharmacovigilance. This has been new, and so many questions has been rising up. Every marketing authorization holder should have the qualified personnel for the pharmacovigilance to make follow-up of safety issues and quality issues in Tanzania. But we do have another regulations for recall, handling, and disposal of unfit medicines. Every marketing authorization holder has a responsibility of making sure that if there is any poor quality or substandard medicines in our market, to have the process to know how they can recall and how they can handle the unfit products and how they can dispose all these unfit products. Also, there are regulations for registration of premises, including manufacturers, importation and exportation of pharmaceuticals.
Thank you very much, madam. It was indeed a very useful presentation and talk by you. This has provided guidance on how to register, how many days it is taking, where to register, and what are the formalities. It has been very helpful. It will be a guiding factor for Indian companies to register many more products with the EMDA. Thank you once again. Now I invite Mr. Kapil Bhandari, Managing Director, Hasafa Health Sciences. to kindly give a presentation on business opportunities for Indian companies in Tanzania. Sir, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kapil Dev Bhandari. I'm Managing Director of Asafa Health Sciences. Asafa Health Sciences is a local distributor, which is ISO 9001-2015 approved company. And I'm in Tanzania and Africa from almost past 15-16 years. And the growth which I have seen and the requirement which I have seen in Tanzanian market, which is increasing. And maybe I should share my presentation. I hope can you see my presentation? I will most of the points which has been already covered by Mr. Frankie of MSD in for the opportunities in Tanzania, and Madam Kisa of TMDA. But still, I like to, on my perspective, for what is the opportunities for pharmaceutical business in Tanzania. As everybody knows, Tanzania is the eastern part of Africa. It's an East African country in sub-Saharan Africa. And this is the land of opportunities where United Republic of Tanzania. Tanzania, I'll go back, sorry. It's bordered by Kenya on the north side and Rwanda, Burundi, DRC on the west, and Zambia, Malawi, Mozambique on the southern part, and the eastern part of Tanzania is an Indian Ocean. And as you see, Tanzania is centrally located and has easy access to all the neighboring countries. Its country is named after River Tanganyika, mainland, and island part Zanzibar. The country got independence in 1961. The official capital is Dodoma and the commercial capital is Dar es Salaam. The official language is Kiswahili and English, and the population is approximately 56 million. The total market size of Tanzanian, its approximate size, which I can tell, is close to 600 million USD, where 75 to 80% market is a generic market. Generic market is, and 25% you can say to 20 to 25%, which is branded market, where the innovator molecules are there. And MSD, as Mr. Frankie has already represented, which floats tender, and he has already explained well, for procurement of pharmaceuticals for the country. As a regulator side, for the medicine and medical devices, which is regulated by TMDA, and for the food and cosmetics, which is regulated by TBS, Tanzania Bureau of Standards. Before, as Ms. Kisa has said, earlier it was TFDA. In 2019, the name has been changed to TMDA. Now the more dedicated attention can be given to the food and cosmetics, which has been taken over by Tanzania Bureau of Standards. This is the address of TMDA, located in Dar es Salaam and in Dodoma also. I will not go very deep into the details of roles and responsibility of TMDA, which Madam Kisa has already explained it very well. The the nutshell is the TMDA not only earlier the food and the cosmetics, which was earlier registered, used to get registration through TMDA, now it has been taken over by TBS to give them more attention and for the speedy process. And of course, registering the molecule or registering the medicine as a molecule, the plant inspection, pharmacovigilance, assessing the quality, inspection of local manufacturers as well as international is conducted by TMDA. There are few, TMDA has got the maturity level of WHO and setting up a quality management system for which has attained ISO 9001:2015, and TFDA has reached the maturity level 3, which is which credit goes to TMDA, the strict quality measures. Establishing and implementing a laboratory QMS for medicines that has attained WHO pre-qualification. And TMDA is being one of the few regulators in Africa to establish medical device and diagnostic control system. If you see the GMP inspection fees, this is GMP inspection fees for the pharmaceuticals. For East African countries, it's 4,000 USD. Rest of Africa is 5,000, Asia is 6,000, and Europe is 7,000, and America is 8,000. But for, as an opportunity, GMP inspection fees for the domestic industries is only $250, which is way less. So the government of Tanzania is promoting, inviting the local pharmaceutical industry, which government is giving a lot of incentives, and which reduce the lead time. As there are so many manufacturers are coming up, setting up the plants, and there are already manufacturing units already there in the country. So government is giving, a big concession, incentives and inviting all the foreign Indian companies to come and establish plant here in Tanzania. If you see the product registration fees also, there's a lot of incentives, a lot of rebate is given for the local manufacturer as compared to the registration fees is $2,000 as compared to for the local manufacturer is $5,500, and the registration cost for the products is almost 1/4, in fact, and retention is $150, half of the price, half of the fees for the foreign delegates and duplicate certificates, which is almost half. And regarding the food and cosmetics registration, which has been taken over by Tanzania Bureau of Standards, I will further, there are roles and functions of TBS, which is Tanzania Bureau of Standards, to approve, register, control for the food and cosmetics. And if I see as an opportunity, I'll in a chronological order, the therapeutic wise segment, the antibacterial for systemic use, these are which contributes close to 25% of the market, followed by analgesics, antimalarial and antivirals, antimycosis for the dermatological use, cough and cold preparation, cardiovascular, anti-diabetic, and others. So Indian companies can decide in which segment they want to register the molecules, and that I can further provide the data how much is the antibacterial, antibiotics are required, followed by analgesics, antimalarial, and so on. Opportunity wise, as Tanzania is a land of opportunities, as we have a limited manufacturing facilities, and Mr. Frankie also said there is a lead time goes sometimes up to 6 months. So by establishing local manufacturing Here the lead time will be of course less, and government is promoting local manufacturing, and there is a huge scope for the local manufacturing manufacturer. And government has also provided created SEZ and EPZ zones to promote local manufacturing. Tax benefits and incentives for the local manufacturers are there, as you have seen in the registration of the site and the product registration, which is less. And on the tax benefit, people can register through TIC, Tanzania Investment Corporation, where single window system has been created for the investors to ease the hassle for the local investors, for the foreign investors. Better connectivity, the purpose of showing the map is that Tanzania is centrally located in East African countries. So we are well connected through Dar es Salaam port, well connected through the roads to the neighboring countries. So Tanzania is the ideal location for the for the foreign manufacturers to come and establish here. And now Tanzania MSD is the for procurement has been what you call appointed as a for the SADC countries, for the 16 countries. So MSD will be promoting, will be procuring for 16 SADC countries. So there is a huge opportunities for manufacturers to come and establish plant and register through TMDA and supply to all those 16 countries. So I would say Tanzania is the one ideal location for establishing manufacturing units in Tanzania. So I welcome all Indian manufacturers to come and explore the opportunities in Tanzania. And here I end my presentation. Thank you very much for patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Kapilji, Mr. Kapil Bhandari, for a detailed presentation on, briefing what is TMDA, its role, as well as the opportunities present for the Indian companies, covering on the therapeutic potential segment-wise, and what are the benefits of setting up of a unit in Tanzania, as well as the SADC opportunity. We would like to thank you once again for giving this detailed presentation. Madam Kisa is back. I would request her to, if she wanted to say a few words, I would welcome back Madam to say a few words. Thank you very much, Mr. Frankie, Ms. Kisa, and Dr. Kapil Bhandari for the detailed presentations. Now I welcome Mr. Chandramouli, Deputy High Commissioner of Tanzania, to kindly give his concluding remarks.
Good afternoon, friends in India, and it is still forenoon in Tanzania. And from the High Commissioner of India, we would like to thank the TMDA, the MSD, and Mr. Kapil Bhandari for responding to our request positively and coming up with their valuable comments and suggestions. We thank them immensely. And we congratulate Excel for organizing this. And as our High Commissioner assured you, we in the High Commission here are how to help you, the individual companies, as well as Excel as an association. And as the High Commissioner said, and as Mr. Bhandari also said, Tanzania is a very strategically located country in East and Southern Africa. And it also caters to about 6 landlocked countries here. So the message is very loud and clear. Yesterday, you must have been told by people in Kenya also that government of Kenya also wanted to establish local manufacturing units in Kenya. The same here as well. But it is a final call which our companies have to take. But Tanzania has got a lot to offer. It is larger in size and more population. The population is nearing 60 million now. And it is expected to touch 100 million in about 15 years, 2030, 35. So Tanzania is one of the largest markets for our pharma industry, and which is only bound to grow. And now, as we said, gone are the days when we say that, okay, I manufacture this item, you please take it. So just trading will not be enough now. We need to seriously consider setting up local value chains here. And as you see from the cost chart given in Mr. Bhandari's this thing, there's a huge gap for registration processes from countries from abroad, as well as if you set up local industries. So the message is very loud and clear, and we would welcome more investors.
Welcome back. We lost you the connection actually. It was. We would like you to say a few words and then we will conclude the meeting.
Yeah, first of all, I'm very, very sorry. I had a connection problem here when I started to present. I'm Kisa Mwamwitwa. I'm presenting the policy updates on drug registration in Tanzania. And most of the products which are registered here in Tanzania are coming from India. So this is an opportunity for marketing authorization from India to come and to register. I will just summarize. I will not present everything I had. But what I need to inform them, they need to comply with the regulations and guidelines which we have set. Our main role is to regulate quality, safety, and efficacy of all regulated products, which are human medicines, veterinary medicines, biologicals, vaccines, medical devices, in vitro diagnostics, antiseptics, and disinfectant. But we do have also the opportunity for Pharma India to invest in Tanzania. Why do we assisting them to invest? Because we have a sound political support here in Tanzania, and we still the existing facilities are not adequate to meet market demand. Currently, domestic companies cannot meet the total demand here in Tanzania, and the potential for exportation of products to the neighboring countries. We have almost 8 countries, neighboring countries, and the SADC region. So this is also the opportunity for pharma industry India to come and invest here in Tanzania. But we have assured government market through a medical store department and SADC market through MSD bulk procurement. And also we have existence of National Health Insurance Scheme, which has improved access of medicine through accredited facility. But also we have almost 100% of all medical devices are imported here in Tanzania. So this is a very, very another opportunity for marketing authorization holder to come and invest here in Tanzania. But we have pharma R&D research and development lab to support in conducting and generating bioequivalence data. This one was the problem in previous years, but nowadays we have this lab to support generating of bioequivalent data. And we have a WHO pre-qualified laboratory here in TMDA, and we have built another one at Mwanza. So it's another opportunity for you to come and invest, but also the existence of interest and support from other international collaborators. So I can say this just in short, welcome you all to invest in Tanzania, but also I'd like to acknowledge all organizers of this special visual meeting. This clearly signifies your interest, commitment, and support of what our pharma industries are doing, especially in contributing to healthy sectors. Thank you very much, and sorry for the time and sorry for what have been happened during the presentation.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you for taking time for giving for gracing us and giving us a detailed presentation of what are the opportunities present with TMBA and present for the Indian pharmaceutical industry. It's been a pleasure to have you as well as Mr. Franklin from MSD, and I would like to thank each and everyone. Kapilji for a detailed presentation, for Mr. Chandramouli their team, for making it a success. Thank you so much for making it. Now, with this, we have concluded session 1. We are going to have session 2, which is one-on-one business meetings immediately after this. So companies from India side and Tanzanian side are requested to engage themselves into the platform and do their business deliberations. With this, I would like to thank each and everyone present here, both from Tanzania side and Indian side, for making it a successful show. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Murli, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Frankie, and thank you, Ms. Kisa. Thank you so much.